What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, talking some more Earthspark here. Haven't really discussed this in a little while, and it's something that's been on my mind for a little while here, and I'm sure a lot of other fans as well recently. The Earthspark hate, the division it's caused in the fandom. There's a lot of people who like it, and a lot of people who absolutely despise the show. I'm in the middle. I don't really like the show too much. I thought season one was pretty good, but everything else, not really anything spectacular. I think it's okay, but I don't really think it's good either. Basically just mid, if it was a word to describe my feeling on the show. And just the overall sort of just straight up hate and trashing it is what I wanted to kind of cover in a video today. And I don't know, you could justify certain aspects of complaints with the show, which are totally fine and I agree with. How they handle some of the story elements, going back and forth on certain things, how they handled some of the characters and making typical mistakes that we've seen in Transformers shows ever since Prime ended. And just not really taking itself seriously enough to where you are invested in the story with these characters in the overall show. Now, obviously, I know this is a kid's cartoon made to sell toys and merchandise. At the same time, you still gotta have a good cartoon and a good story to back it up. And we really haven't had that in a long time. The closest we've gotten to that is Cyberverse, I'd say. And even that had a lot of flaws to it. It's a tricky subject because there's like politics that goes into it now because of the whole pronouns and stuff they did a couple years ago. I don't really care about that. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, I don't care if they included pronouns in the show. I'm not sensitive like that. But it is something that, did they really need to have in there? It really doesn't impact the show either way if they had it in there or they just completely left it out. Because if you look at other versions of the show released in other countries, they took that part of the story out with Nightshade. So I don't really know what the whole reasoning was behind that, because they knew it would be controversial. They knew it would piss a lot of people off and make a lot of people sensitive over it. That's just how the world is nowadays. So it really confuses me as to why they thought it would go over smoothly, it seems like, when obviously nothing really goes over smoothly these days. So I really don't know what they were expecting there. But I don't know, just stuff like that and bringing the politics into it, it really divides the fandom even more. Like, oh, you're a Trump supporter, oh, you're a liberal. I really don't care about having this discussion with anybody like that, with a Transformers fan, so just stuff like that really bogs the overall experience down on Earthspark. And it's not even like it's something we've moved past, because anytime I do an Earthspark video, it's like one of the top comments, oh, the pronouns, I hate this, the political stuff, blah, 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 stuff like that. Which, again, I really don't care either way if they had it in there or left it out. It's a real weird thing just to look at and cover and just think about with Earthspark and just how they handled the characters. They did bring in some cool characters here and there, and obviously they brought in a lot of new characters with the Terrans, but I really feel like they didn't take the time to kind of delve into each character. They just kept introducing new Terrans like every season or every 7 episodes or however the ratio was. So I don't know, it was a little iffy. It just felt like they were just trying to sell more and more toys and get people hooked on these newer characters to usher in a new future for the Transformers franchise when nobody was watching Earthspark to begin with, and the show isn't even that great, at least in my opinion. And especially when you compare season 2 and 3 to season 1. I thought season 1 was a decent start. It was pretty good. If you guys go back and watch my season 1 review, I thought it was decent. But they undo a lot of the things that they covered in season 1, and they just revert back to the typical stupid stuff that we see in modern day Transformers cartoons. And it begs the question, where do you go from here? You've really screwed it up this time. So with Cyberworld, I just really hope we get a solid story, something that actually matters to Transformers fans. We get cool characters, we get a nice selection of characters again, not the typical, okay, we got all these same A-listers and then we throw in a couple of new characters. Like, we need some middle ground. We need some B, C, D-list characters to shine a little bit too. A couple A-listers, because, I mean, it's obvious they gotta do that every cartoon. And then, of course, bring in some new characters. I know they try to do that, but it really doesn't go over well at all, especially with the last couple recent cartoons. Again, the only one that I thought they did it decently well was Cyberverse. So just having a nice collection of characters that get the time to be fleshed out and be taken serious within the story and as developing cool characters for us to latch onto is really something that I really feel like Transformers cartoons are missing at the core, and what separates the older ones compared to some of the newer cartoons. Because you look at Unicron Trilogy, Animated, Prime, Beast Wars, these cartoons have so many characters, so many new characters too, that have stuck with fans for 20, 30 years now. And it's really telling when you have cartoons like that that could really bridge the gap between not caring about a character and caring about one, to the point where people who grew up, who are now adults, are begging for updated figures from Hasbro of these characters 20, 30 years later. If the franchise wants to have longevity, I feel like that is the core of what they have to improve with Transformers cartoons. Because at the end of the day, it's the characters you remember and the designs and, you know, just the overall toys. And the toys haven't been the greatest either. I can't name you one amazing modern era cartoon figure that's come out in the last 10 years. I just can't. The last good toy line was Prime. Sure, there's a couple decent standouts every toy line, but you know, we need to bring back Voyagers and Leader Class with these cartoon toy lines, and we need to bring the quality back. It needs to be on the same level as the regular mainline generations, and I don't know what Hasbro's thinking is behind not living up to that level of detail and just quality for what you're paying for, especially when you're paying the same price for deluxes that you get with regular generations figures and the cartoon figures, and the quality just doesn't add up. The complexity, the details, the overall plastic quality, the accessories, the paint, the looks of the figures, it just doesn't seem as up to par as what you get with the regular generations, and then they're the exact same price. It just makes no sense to me. So I think the main two reasons are we need to have strong characters again, and the toy lines need to be good quality like the Generations line again. And I really do feel like that's the center of the hate for Earthspark in these newer cartoons, and at the end of the day, I think it's justified because of that. So, you know, to really cap off this video, I think most of the hate Earthspark gets is justified with how they handle the story, the characters, and the overall toy line. But some stuff can be a bit far, especially when you get into the political territory. You get some of these crazy people just going ballistic online over a kid's cartoon. So, you know, it's a slippery slope with some stuff, but it's just the world we live in, I guess, these days. But, yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. What do y'all think about the hate Earthspark has gotten the last couple of years? Do you think most of it is justified, or do you not? All of my social medias are linked down below, including my email, if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever. Or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or irregular display shelves in your homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!